You've met someone like this. The room is tense. Everyone is panicking. Voices are raised. And then there's that one person. Still, measured, completely unshaken. They're not cold. They're not disconnected. They just don't break. And you've wondered, what do they know that I don't? Today, we're going inside the psychology of people who are always calm. And what you're about to discover isn't just fascinating. It might change the way you see yourself. Calm isn't a personality trait you're born with or without. It's not about being emotionally numb or not caring or having a perfect life with no problems. Chronically calm people face the same storms as everyone else: job loss, heartbreak, uncertainty, grief. The difference is what happens inside them when chaos arrives. Science has been studying this for decades, and the findings are surprising. Let's break it down. The first thing you'll notice about calm people is that they are obsessively clear about one thing: what they can control and what they can't. This isn't a cliché. It's a deeply practiced cognitive habit rooted in stoic philosophy and backed by modern psychology. Researchers call it an internal locus of control, the belief that your responses to life are yours to own, even when the events themselves aren't. When something goes wrong, most people instinctively pour their energy into fighting the reality of what happened. They replay it, they rage against it, they ask, "Why me?" Calm people don't skip that emotion, but they move through it faster because they've trained themselves to quickly ask a different question. What can I actually do about this? That single shift from resistance to agency is one of the most powerful psychological moves a human being can make. Here's something most people don't realize. Calm isn't a mindset. It's a physiology. When you experience stress, your body activates the sympathetic nervous system, the famous fight or flight response. Your heart rate spikes, your thinking narrows, your body prepares for danger. People who appear always calm have, often unconsciously, developed stronger vagal tone. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body, and it's essentially the superhighway of your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and restore mode. Higher vagal tone means your body can regulate itself back to calm faster after stress hits. And here's the crucial part. Vagal tone isn't fixed. It's trainable. Calm people tend to do things, sometimes without even knowing why, that build this. Slow, deep breathing, regular physical movement, consistent sleep, meditation, or There's a thinking pattern psychologists call catastrophizing, and most of us do it automatically. Something goes wrong, and within seconds, the brain spirals. This is bad. This could get worse. What if it does? Then everything falls apart. Then I lose everything. Then... Calm people experience the same initial flash of worry, but something different happens next. They've developed what cognitive behavioral therapists call realistic appraisal, the habit of asking, what is actually likely to happen here? Not what's possible in the worst case, what's probable. This isn't toxic positivity. It's not pretending everything will be fine. It's precision thinking. And when you do this consistently, your brain stops treating every setback like a 5-alarm fire. It learns to size threats accurately. The nervous system follows. Calm people are, in a sense, better at being afraid because their fear is proportionate to reality, not amplified by imagination. They've made peace with uncertainty. One of the deepest roots of anxiety is the need for certainty. We want to know how things will turn out. We want guarantees. And when life refuses to give them, which it always does, anxiety rushes in to fill that gap. Chronically calm people have done something profound. They've accepted that uncertainty is not a problem to solve. It's a condition of being alive. Psychologists call this tolerance for ambiguity, and it's one of the strongest predictors of psychological resilience. This doesn't mean they don't plan. Calm people often plan exceptionally well, but they hold their plans loosely. They've internalized the idea that the map is not the territory, that life will deviate, and that deviation isn't failure. When something unexpected happens, they don't experience it as a violation of how things should be. They experience it as life, being life. That acceptance is not passive. It takes enormous inner work to arrive at. They protect their inner world fiercely. Look closely at calm people, and you'll notice something about their habits. They are quietly, consistently, very protective of their mental environment. They don't consume chaos for entertainment. They're selective about what news they absorb, what conversations they engage in, and how much emotional drama they allow into their daily life. This isn't avoidance, it's curation. They understand something that neuroscience confirms. The brain is deeply shaped by what it's repeatedly exposed to. Feed it panic, outrage, and urgency, and it learns to live in that state. Feed it stillness, reflection, and meaning, and it recalibrates toward those instead. Calm people are also careful with their social inputs, not cold or distant, but discerning. They tend to spend more time with people who are grounded, and less time in environments that are chronically chaotic or draining. They've realized you cannot be calm inside a life you've built entirely from noise. They have a practice, not just an attitude. Here's what might be the most important thing to understand. Calm isn't a trait chronically calm people simply have. It's something they return to, again and again, through deliberate practice. Most of them have some form of daily anchor, a consistent morning routine, a journaling habit, a walk they never skip, a prayer or meditation practice, a few minutes of intentional silence before the day begins. These practices do something specific. They create a baseline that the person can return to. When the day gets turbulent, and it will, there is something stable to come back to. Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote that between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space lies our freedom. Calm people have expanded that space. Their practices built it, one quiet morning at a time. So what's the real secret of people who are always calm? They are not unfeeling. They are not lucky. They are not built differently. They have simply, slowly, imperfectly, over time, done the inner work. They've learned to separate what they can control from what they can't. They've trained their nervous system through consistent habits. They've practiced realistic thinking. They've made peace with uncertainty. They've protected their inner world. And they've built daily practices that give them something to return to. The beautiful truth is, none of this is reserved for certain people. The capacity for deep, unshakable calm lives inside every human being, including you. It's not something you find, it's something you build. And the good news? You can start today with something small, a breath, a moment of stillness, a single question asked before reacting. Is this actually as serious as it feels right now? That's where it begins. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology of mindset, resilience, and human behavior, subscribe. There's a lot more coming.